Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
And this is a longer reaction. This is for Screen Rant's Ultimate Twilight Saga Pitch Meeting compilation. However, we're not doing the first Twilight film because there's already a reaction of that available on Get Jaby. We're doing the other ones. And hopefully, we can sustain laughter for 20 minutes or so. We're starting off with New Moon. Full disclosure, Jaby's only watched Twilight. Thank you, Screen Rant and Ryan George, for allowing us to react to this. Very much appreciated. Y'all, make sure to subscribe to Screen Rant's YouTube channel, as well as Ryan George. He's got great stuff there as well.
So, you have a Twilight sequel for me? Yes, sir, I do. This one's gonna be called New Moon, and it's gonna start with a shot of a moon. Oh, everything's making a ton of sense so far. Off to a good start. Yeah, so in this movie, Bella's gonna start being scared about growing older while Edward stays the same age. All right. But then Edward's like, you know, Bella, technically I'm 109. Oh, right, yeah. And jokingly, she's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be dating such an old man, you know, it's gross. So, you know, that's gonna be a funny little moment. That's absolutely correct, though. Anyway, then in class, they're gonna be talking about Romeo and Juliet, and Edward's gonna be like, the only way for a vampire to kill himself is to go in front of this committee in Italy. Oh, I wonder if that completely unnatural thing to say is gonna come into play later in the movie. It is, actually. Oh my God, what? I'm a writer. Wow, I guess you kinda are. And so later, the Cullens are gonna have a birthday party for Bella, and she's gonna get a paper cut on some wrapping paper. So that just starts dripping blood. Not really how paper cuts usually play out. Well, this one's gonna frickin' drip blood, so Jasper, he's just gonna go nuts. Yeah, so you know, Edward has to step in and protect her. How does he do that? Well, he's gonna push Jasper away, but not before hurling Bella across the room into the wall and making her bleed even more. Oh, wow, probably didn't need to shove her. That part seemed unnecessary. You probably could have just done the pushing Jasper part, but he's gonna go ahead and injure Bella too. Well, okay then. So then Edward's gonna realize that it's too dangerous for them to be dating, you know? If he really wants to protect her, he has to break up with her. Oh, very sad. Yeah, so he brings her to this forest where hikers keep getting violently killed and breaks up with her and leaves. He leaves her alone in the death forest so she'll be safe. That's right, yeah, and so she gets lost and collapses and a shirtless guy picks her up. Wow, off to a terrible start in the I Gotta Protect Bella project. Yeah, so she's gonna be so sad, she's basically gonna be comatose and expressionless. More than usual? More than usual, yeah, she's basically gonna be in a sadness coma and sit in a chair for 3 months. I guess that'll be fun to watch. It might be. And so anyway, one day she realizes that when she does reckless things, she gets visions of Edward, so she decides she's gonna do that kind of thing from now on. Feels like maybe there are deeper mental issues going on there. Probably. So anyway, she's gonna start fixing up this old motorcycle with Jacob, and he has muscles now, so he has value as a human being and can be a love interest. Oh, he's worth something now. That's nice. Yeah, we're gonna have this little montage of them working on the bike together. She orders a pizza and throws a slice at him, and we're gonna transition into him catching a tool. What? Why would we? Well, it's gonna be a cool transition. Right, but it involves her whipping a slice of pizza across the room. Who does that? I don't know, but it's gonna be a cool transition. Well, okay then. Anyway, then she finally takes the bike out and has like 5 visions of Edward and immediately crashes and bashes her head on a rock. Oh, she's absolutely the worst. And then Jacob pops his shirt off to help, you know, like a normal person. Sure. And then he shows her all his abs and rubs her open wound with a dirty, sweaty t-shirt. Very romantic and probably infected. Yeah, so they start getting closer and closer, but Jacob has a secret. Oh, he does? Yeah, he's like, Bella, have you ever had a secret that you couldn't tell anyone? That's how all secrets work. It is, yeah. So what is it? Well, let's just say he spends a whole lot of time in the woods with very muscular, shirtless dudes. Oh, I see exactly what's going on. Yeah, he's a werewolf. Oh, he is. Okay, I was way off. Yeah, werewolves rarely wear shirts. It's the werewolf way, because when they transform, you know, their clothing, it gets torn to shreds. So what about their pants? Well, sir, unless you want to talk about the technicalities of werewolf junk, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about pants. Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing. Anyway, so also that red-headed vampire Victoria from the first movie is hovering around, and she wants to kill Bella because her boyfriend James was killed in the first movie. Oh, right, yeah, okay. But Jacob and his werewolf buddies keep chasing her away, and she dives off a cliff to escape. Oh, werewolves can't jump off cliffs, huh? Actually, that's the one activity we've established that they love to do. Oh, so why? I don't know, but anyway, at the exact same time, Bella decides to jump off a cliff too. What? Why would she? I don't know, but anyway, now she's in the water at the same time as Victoria, so you know, it's pretty dangerous. Well, so what does she do? Well, she bashes her own head on a rock and passes out and has to be rescued. Oh, that is very on brand for her, but how come Victoria doesn't kill her while she's unconscious? I don't know. Fair enough. So anyway, then Alice shows up because she had a vision of Bella jumping off a cliff like an idiot and thought she was dead. Okay. And then Edward calls Bella's house, but Jacob picks up the phone. Who answers somebody else's phone? Characters that need to create misunderstandings to drive the plot forward. Oh, okay. Yeah, and because somebody died earlier in the movie, Jacob tells Edward that Bella's father is arranging a funeral. Then he hangs up the phone. Oh, so Edward thinks Bella is dead? He does, and now he wants to die too. Oh, it's like Romeo and Juliet, except just awful. What? So what does Edward do? Well, he goes to this vampire committee called the Volturi, and he's like, hey, please kill me. I'd like to die. And they're like, no. Oh, very mean of them. Or nice, I can't tell. Unclear. So now Edward has to find a way to make them kill him. Well, so what does he do? Well, his plan is to take off his clothes in a public place, because apparently if people see a sparkly shirtless dude, they'll assume he's a vampire. Oh, exposing yourself in front of a crowd is tight. Have you done that? Yep, my hearing is next week. I'm pleading non-guilty, but there is a ton of video evidence. Well, okay then. Anyway, so Bella manages to get there in time and stop him. Wow. And he's like, Bella, when I said I was leaving, you let me go, so you must not love me. Oh, that's a textbook manipulation and abuse tactic. Their relationship is very unhealthy, yeah. So anyway, now the Volturi have changed their mind and they do want to kill him. Uh-oh. Yeah, and they want to kill Bella too, because she knows too much. Man, gonna be tough to get out of that situation. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because as they're killing Edward, Bella's like, no, kill me instead. And, that convinces them to let them all go. I thought they were gonna kill her too. Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay then. So then the Cullen family, they all agree to turn Bella into a vampire. Oh, very cool. And then we're gonna have this huge moment where Edward is like, okay, well, before we turn you into a vampire, you gotta do something for me. What is it? He's like, marry me. And then she gasps and we cut to black. Oh, yeah, we get out of there on that shocking reveal. I feel like agreeing to transform her into an immortal vampire is slightly bigger than a marriage proposal. Yeah, but this is like a cliffhanger. Is she gonna say yes? Well, she's already agreed to be a vampire with him forever. That's not even a question. Well, we're gonna cut to black. So what do you think? Well, it sounds like something the fans are gonna like a lot, and hopefully the actors like it just as much. Oh, for sure.
Oh, wow. I gotta get that.
I want to see that.
Yes, sir, I do. And this one's going to be called Eclipse. Oh, sounds like a weird name for a movie. That's not something any rational person would stare at. Well, it's the name of the third book, sir. Our hands are tied. Oh, yeah. Who did this? I don't have any suspects at the moment, unfortunately, sir. Yeah, hopefully we track them down soon. So anyway, at the end of the last movie, Edward proposed to Bella, right? That's right, sir. And in this movie, he's going to do that again. What? Did she say no? She says no, sir, and she keeps saying no, because a lot of marriages end in divorce, It's a big commitment. But her main motivation is to be an immortal vampire with him forever, for eternity. That's right, sir. Oh, I feel like that doesn't make any sense. How is this even a conflict? Listen, sir, the story had to be stretched out for money purposes, right? So I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about manufactured, meaningless conflict. Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing. I do like money purposes. They're the only purposes that matter, sir. Also, in this movie, Jacob's kind of fighting for Bella's love. He wants to be the one she chooses. But didn't the last movie end with him being like, okay, looks like Bella's with Edward now. Oh my god, that's so weird. Well, what's going on? I know it sounds crazy, but it kind of feels like you're back on my back about manufactured conflict. Oh, I accidentally got back on that thing, didn't I? I apologize. Thanks, sir. So anyway, in this movie, that red-headed vampire, Victoria, whose face has just completely changed for some reason, is on her way to kill Bella.
They replaced the actress.
Right, why is that again? Well, she's the main character. Right. So in Seattle, Victoria, she's working on building an army of newborns. Oh, going to war with babies is tight. No, newborns isn't people that were just recently turned into vampires. Oh. Okay. Yeah, Alice has a vision that the army's moving towards them, and they're gonna be in Forks, Washington in 4 days. 4 days? Isn't that like a 4-hour drive? It is, yeah. Can vampires not drive? No, they could drive. Even if they walk, that's a 2-day walk. I don't know what to tell you, sir. It's gonna take them 4 days. They're gonna come out of the water. Oh, very slow vampires. And since Jasper knows all about newborns, he's gonna lead a kind of training session. Which one was Jasper again? Well, he became a vampire during the Civil War.
That's right.
He's the youngest of the Cullen clan. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, and so the actor's gonna have to do a southern accent, and we're gonna have some flashbacks to him during the Civil War. Do you think it matters that he wasn't at all doing a southern accent in the first 2 movies? That's probably fine. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Any other side characters getting random flashbacks in this thing? Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because Rosalie's gonna get one too. Which one's she again? Well, she's one of the vampires, sir. I'm almost sure of it. Nice. Anyway, she's telling Bella about how she didn't get to choose to become a vampire. Her life was absolutely perfect, and she didn't want to become one. Oh, absolutely perfect, huh? Those are strong words. What was her life like? Well, she was super in love with this guy. Oh, nice. Yeah, and then he, assaulted her with a bunch of his friends and left her to die. Oh my god. Just an absolutely perfect life, That's not, that doesn't mean that. Anyway, then she got turned into a vampire and killed all her assaulters one by one and saved her ex-boyfriend for last and killed him while wearing a wedding dress. Oh, that actually sounds a whole lot more interesting of a movie than the one we're making. Definitely. You think that's a bad sign? No, it's probably fine. Oh, okay, good. Oh, and Bella's also going to be told about some werewolf history. Oh yeah? what does she learn? Well, there was this big fight with the vampires, but this one lady, she saves the last spirit warrior of the tribe by distracting a vampire with her own blood. Oh, smart. Yeah, and so she dies because the way she got blood was to stab herself in the stomach for some reason. Oh, did she not know that other parts of the body have blood in them too? I guess not. Whoops. Whoopsie. So anyway, the vampires are gonna get the werewolves to come train with them because everybody's coming together to protect Bella. So a bunch of humans in Seattle are dying and a bunch of vampires and a bunch of werewolves are preparing to die. Yeah, and coming together despite a rivalry that spans centuries. Right, all that, just for Bella. That's right. But so like why? Well, sir, like I said, she is the main character. Oh, yeah, okay, right. Yeah, it's a life and death situation for a bunch of vampires and werewolves and innocent humans, all because Bella's on the movie poster. That is an important character trait. So anyway, then there's gonna be the big training scene with the vampires and the werewolves. A training scene, huh? What's that like? Well, the vampires push each other around for a couple of hours while the werewolves watch. And that's helpful for everybody? Apparently so. Well, great. Yeah, and then it's time for a fight. Oh, very exciting. I can't wait to see the main characters in some action scenes. Oh, well, actually, the main characters, they're gonna go camping. What? Yeah, they want to get Bella away from the action, and so Jacob goes along to mask her scent, and also Edward's there. And they go camping? They do. They go to the top of a mountain, but you know what happens there? It gets cold. So as the side characters are battling vampires, the main characters are gonna battle, hypothermia. They are, and since Edward is a cold vampire, Jacob is gonna have to cuddle with Bella to keep her warm. I'd sure like to see them fight a vampire army, though. Well, we're gonna have Jacob spoon Bella and make eye contact with Edward, which is just as exciting as a vampire fight. Is it though? So anyway, the next morning, Jacob finds out that Bella finally said yes to Edward's marriage proposal, so he's all pissed. Oh, he is? Yeah, he doesn't want to take no for an answer. He's like, I know you love me, you just don't want to admit it. And that's romantic? It sure is, sir. And then he's like, maybe I'll go get myself killed in the fight if you don't choose me. Kind of feels like emotional manipulation. Actually, it's romance. If you say so. Then she kisses him, so he stays, then he just leaves anyway. I can't help but feel like this is putting some weird messages out into the world. Yeah, messages of love. And then we're gonna show some snippets of the fight with the newborns, and then Victoria is gonna find Bella and Edward. Oh wow, how'd she find them? Well, she could smell Edward, so she tracked them down pretty easily. They went through all that trouble of masking Bella's scent, but Edward's scent was traceable the whole time. That's right, sir. Very dumb protagonists. And then it's time for our freaking showdown with Victoria. It was gonna be tough to beat her. We've built this showdown up for 3 movies. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, Bella does the foreshadowy thing we shoved in everybody's faces earlier. And does Bella stab herself in the stomach like that lady did? No, she realizes that her arm also has blood in it, so she cuts that instead of her stomach. Very smart. Yeah, and so then Victoria's head just kind of comes off. Oh, yeah, just kind of comes off, so that's all done. That's all over with. Just pops right off. Okay, great. And then those evil Volturi vampires, they show up and they're like, guess what? We're gonna be in the next movie. Very ominous. Also, Jacob breaks some bones, which doesn't really affect anything, and that's it. Wow, well, it sounds like it's gonna make money. Probably. Kind of makes me sad that there's only 1 book left to adapt. Yeah, I wish there was a way we could squeeze some extra money out of it. So, you have a Twilight movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. Amazing. Final book, final movie? It's all very exciting. Well, actually, I thought we could squeeze 2 movies out of the final book. Really? Can we do that? Harry Potter did it. Yeah, that's true. There was a lot going on in the final Harry Potter book, though. Is there enough content in the final Twilight book to make 2 movies? Not really, no. So why would we? Well, because of money. Oh, money, that's the thing that I like. It sure is, sir. So what's gonna happen in part 1 of this thing? Not much. Oh, really? Yeah, basically Edward and Bella are gonna get married, so that's gonna take about 30-40 minutes. Oh, incredibly slow pace. Yeah. Is there any conflict or drama or anything like that? Not really, no. Well, at a certain point, Jacob is gonna come out of the woods as a surprise for Bella. Well, why didn't he just show up to the wedding like a normal person? What a weirdo. Oh, you have no idea. He's gonna get real weird real soon. Uh-oh. Anyway, Bella tells him that her and Edward plan on getting, intimate before she even becomes a vampire, and so Jacob gets really mad. Right, isn't that incredibly dangerous? Doesn't that go against everything Edward's been saying about trying to protect Bella? Yeah, but we need something in this movie, so characters are just gonna kind of do stuff. And why can't they just wait until after she's turned into a vampire? Well, because they need to go on their honeymoon, right? And she doesn't want to spend that time in pain turning into a vampire. Well, people can have their honeymoon whenever they want. It doesn't have to be immediately after the wedding. Well, we're gonna have it be immediately after the wedding, because otherwise there's literally no story here. Well, okay then. So anyway, they go to this private island, and the next 40 minutes is gonna be them on their honeymoon, just kind of, being on a honeymoon. They play a lot of chess. Oh, really, really, really stretching it thin here. Oh, so thin, sir. The thinnest. Wow. Anyway, so then Bella's gonna end up getting pregnant. What? Isn't Edward dead? He is, yeah. Aren't all his bodily fluids venom? They are venomous, yeah, for sure. It feels like that doesn't make sense. Well, we're gonna pretend like it makes sense, because otherwise there's literally no story here. All right, do what you gotta do, man. So anyway, then this baby inside Bella starts growing super fast, and it's killing her. I mean, she's wasting away. There's nothing but a skeleton left. Oh, very spooky. She has a skeleton inside of her. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody does. Oh, can you imagine? Very spooky. Anyway, so it really seems like this baby's gonna kill Bella before it's even born, but then they give her some blood in a sippy straw, and she's like, yum, yum, yum. What? Oh, also the werewolves are mad now, because they think this baby's gonna be a threat to them, so they want to kill it. Why would they think that? Well, because new vampires have a hard time controlling their thirst. Okay, they're aware that Bella's also gonna be turned into a vampire, right? They are, yeah, but that's different. How? Well, she's the main character. Oh, right, okay. Anyways, so eventually Edward has to give Bella a C-section using his teeth for some reason, and he injects her with his venom, but it really looks like she's dead. Oh, bummer. And Jacob is so mad he decides to kill the baby, but as soon as he makes eye contact with it, he's like, oh, what? Yeah, he immediately...
Yeah.
He's like, are we gonna
So
kiss
weird.
right now? I don't like that. Oh, don't worry, sir. It's not weird at all, because Jacob's gonna help raise the child before getting romantically involved with it. I mean, you know that that's somehow worse, right? You know that. Okay, sir, but you have to remember. What? Money. Oh, yeah, money. Okay, yeah, no, I'm back into this. Okay, good. So the Wolfman will raise the baby and then sleep with it, and our teenage audience will pay to come watch that. Okay, keep going. Well, okay, so then Bella's gonna turn into a vampire, and then we cut to credits. Very exciting. And then as a mid-credit scene, we're gonna have the Volturi vampires be like, oh, we're gonna be in the next movie, watch out. We literally keep ending movies that way. We do, but this time it's true. Oh, well, great. So what happens in part 2? Well, Bella's a vampire now, and she's gonna run around the woods with Edward looking to hunt. How do you think we'll be able to improve those terrible running effects we've been doing? No need, sir. People will have already paid for their tickets, and it's the last movie. That's a good point. Why bother? Let's save some money. But then Bella's gonna smell a human, and she's gonna have to fight her newborn vampire instincts to try and not kill this guy. Oh, is that gonna be hard for her to do? Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, she's able to repress those urges immediately. Didn't we say it takes most vampires decades to do that? We did, yeah, but she's the main character, so she's special. That makes sense. So then she's gonna meet her baby for the first time, which I figure we could do entirely in CGI. Yeah, sounds like that might haunt people's dreams a little bit. You know, there's definitely a risk of that, but I still think we should go ahead and just make this thing on a
Oh my
computer.
lord,
Yeah, it looks
Works for me.
so
anyway,
bad.
then the Volturi are gonna get word that this baby exists, and they're gonna think that it's something called an immortal child. What's an immortal child? It's like a vampire baby that's really powerful. We're gonna be pretty vague about it, but they want it dead for sure. Is it an immortal child? It's not, no. So then the Cullens go around the world and gather up a bunch of vampire friends, and all these people have different superpowers. Oh, they do? They do, yeah. There's one with the power of electricity, there's one with elemental control powers. This is just gonna straight up be an X-Men movie now, because there's not really anywhere else for the story to go. Oh, suddenly becoming X-Men is tight. So all these vampires come and train with the Cullens, and then it turns out that Bella has the power to shield people. That's why Edward was never able to read her mind. But Alice was able to see her future, and Jasper was able to affect her mood. Please don't think about any of this too much. Oh, okay, my bad. So then there's gonna be this big showdown in the snow between the Volturi and the good vampires and some werewolves. And how does that go? Well, the main Volturi guy, he cuts Carlisle's head off. Oh, he does? Yeah, and this big giant fight breaks out. Jasper gets decapitated. A bunch of Volturi lose their heads too. One of the X-Men creates this big hole in the earth. A bunch of them fall into lava. Did this movie just get good? And then Edward and Bella, they take down the main Volturi guy, and they cut his head off too, and Bella goes to set it on fire. I think this movie just got good. And then it turns out it was all just a vision that Alice was showing the main Volturi guy, so you know, none of it happened.
I remember hearing about that. I never saw the film. I just remember hearing about it.
What are we doing here, man? Money. Oh, right, money. Okay, yeah, no, I love it. Yeah. But didn't we say that Alice wasn't able to see visions with werewolves around? Please don't think about this too much. Oh, right, I keep thinking about things. I need to not do that. Yeah, and so Bella and Edward live happily ever after, and Jacob gets to hook up with the child he helped raise. Money. And so what do you think? Well, you know, I think the Twilight books have definitely spawned as many movies as they possibly can, and it's probably best if nothing else comes of them. I don't see how anything else could come of them, sir.
What? What?
That totally makes sense, actually, because the protagonist in both of those series, she's just so bland and so like, oh my god, I need a guy to save me, and the relationship with the dude is questionable. Like, okay, I will admit that at the time I did participate in the Twilight fever.
Oh, that's why we're watching this.
I know.
It's for shame.
I know. For shame.
For shame.
For shame. For shame. Yes. Shame me. I enjoyed it. I remember reading the first book and I was like, oh my god, I can't put this down. It's garbage, but I love it. And then of course I had to read the rest of them. And then when the movies came out, I was like, oh, of course I have to go watch all of them.
Are you reflecting on your opinions of things yet and looking to elevate beyond?
Oh no, for sure. But like
I watched the first film and I was like, this is so bad. Why does anyone like this shit? It was awful.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I got into a huge debate with my best friend at the time because he had read the books and he said, he read all of them, but he reads fast. Yeah. He hated the books. And so when he watched the first film, he actually liked the movie. And so I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, dude, this shit is garbage. I broke it down for him exactly why I felt the way that I did. And he goes, you know, everything you're saying is exactly what I felt about the book. So I guess you're right. And it was just that he appreciated how the filmmakers were able to take the book and adapt it and elevate it from the book.
Yeah, it gets progressively more crazy up until the point of Renesmee being born and then Jacob imprinting on her. And I read it in the book and I was like, what? Why? This is so weird. Like, okay, I get what you're trying to say, but like, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Like,
but that's the whole tone of
so bizarro.
That is not really that bizarre if you think about it. That's with the tone of the entire book.
Yeah, but anyway.
That's the tone of the entire series. The pale guy is so much more older than her by 5 decades or something.
Edward Cullen.
Edward Cullen. Edward what?
Cullen.
Edward Cullen is much older than her.
Yeah.
He's 5 times older than her. So why does the baby why does the baby being imprinted freak you out? If anything, like that's less weird. They're closer in age. Jacob, right? That's his name.
He's about 17 or 18.
That's way closer than Edward and Bella, right? I'm making some kind of sense here.
Yeah, no.
It's all gross.
The thing is, like, she grows up really quick as well, just because, you know, that's her thing.
The CGI baby?
Yeah.
The CGI baby grows up quick.
Yeah.
It's just like Jack, Robin Williams and Jack?
Yeah, she just grows up quick.
But why?
Cause.
Are you sure you weren't reading the epilogue? That's
No, I think that was her thing. Like that's why the pregnancy was so quick. Because this baby, she's like just grows really quickly, and generally these babies, they're an anomaly, and they usually kill the human mother because usually the vampire father doesn't give enough of a shit to stick around, you know.
Anyone who likes these books or movies, that to me just says you got nothing going on. Like you got nothing to do.
Hey.
You just need a hobby. You need to start playing with marbles or Lego sets or something. Like you need a hobby because this is so bad.
I feel attacked. I mean, I get it. They're not great, but you know what? I will say that one of the most fun movie-going experiences for me was watching Eclipse. I watched it on the premiere night. I went to Leicester Square. It was me, my sister, a couple of her friends, and then we went to the movie theater, and it was just full of tweens and teenagers and their mothers. And we were all like yelling at the screen.
Yes.
Like when Jacob came on,
ACHARA.
we were like, woo, woo, woo.
ACHARA.
And then when Edward Cullen took his shirt off, we were sad.
Anything that's a vag party, a pussy hat galore, sort of, you know,
woo,
gathering,
woo, woo,
like
woo.
Sex in the City, anything like that. You're gonna get that kind of experience.
It's super fun.
Why not celebrate something good? This is how you end up with terrible men. Like,
I mean, all the
aim
things he was bringing up about like the manipulation and the weird stuff in the relationship. I'm looking at it now and going, yeah, this wasn't really setting a great example for young teenage girls. It's extremely weird and manipulative and not at all a healthy relationship.
I am convinced that kids in the future are gonna look back and be confused. Very confused. Like, why? why was this so popular? They're gonna be
don't know.
very confused.
It's like this series of books and these movies plus 50 Shades of Grey.
Try explaining
and
it
those
to
movies.
but try explaining it to your confused grandchild. Like, why Twilight? Like, Star Wars I can get, Lord of the Rings I can understand. The first Matrix, like, I get the craze around it. It makes so much, like, it's easy to break that down. I cannot explain Twilight. I don't know how to convey that other than you had a bunch of lonely women. There were some middle-aged broads who had a fetish for young boys. A gaggle of broads decided to watch this together and celebrate it. This odd
romance.
This odd fixation that they had with young boys, shirtless young boys.
No, I think it was the romance angle. It was kind of like Bella was so bland, so blah, that anyone could just put themselves in her place and then be like, oh my God, I want that everlasting vampire love.
How often do people look at old rich dudes who are dating young broads that are like 20 with shame, with like aggressive, like scowly eyes?
No, they're usually like, well done.
No, they don't. Women don't do that. Women are angry. They're like, marry someone your age, date someone your age. That's disgusting.
Really?
That's disgusting. I remember when my mom found out that Nicolas Cage was dating this young Korean woman. Nicolas Cage was in his 40s or his 50s, and he married this 18-year-old Korean woman.
That's pretty
Right.
young though.
Why is that a problem? Edward is 5 times older than Bella.
But he doesn't look that old.
Why is that the mark of morality? Why is that where it stops? He is older than Anna Nicole Smith's ex-husband. How is that okay? This is the double standard that women have. It's like, if you're hot, it's fine. It's stupid. This is so stupid. It just makes me mad because it goes against everything that women preach. It just makes, I don't even want to get...
Hey, women preach freedom. If you want to do that, then go ahead and do that.
No, they look at both people with shame, like, oh, she's a gold digger. See, Anna Nicole Smith. Everyone looked at Anna Nicole Smith and her husband with judgment. He was happy, she was happy. They were fine, and everyone looked at them with judgment. She's just there for the money. Yeah? And what? And she got rich and then smoked, not smoked, but like snorted a bunch of cocaine and fried her brains and then started perpetuating weird theories about, shots.
Anti-vax.
Anti-vax, yeah, she started the anti-vax movement.
Yeah.
But that's her prerogative. All I'm trying to say is them being married was fine, but women have a problem. But if he looked like Edward Cullen, it would have been fine for everybody. That's stupid.
Well, yeah, because externally, he would look like a young guy, in which case it would be fine.
It's still wrong.
Be with Bella.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Look, you don't read enough vampire fiction, okay? This happens all the time. All the time. It is what it is. You don't see any vampires going for old ladies.
Well, they should. They should date within their age. What? The women look fine. They look young too. Why are they going after young broads who have no experience?
Well, it's like...
Who aren't even legal. She's not even legal. Oh my God, do we even talk about that? She's in high school. That's statutory.
He's also...
RAPE.
He's also in high school.
No, no.
But he's enrolled in high school. Technically, in high school.
That is grasping at straws. He's enrolled in high school as a disguise. It's a terrible disguise.
Whatever.
He looks like he's 30.
Look, okay, like Ryan George said in this, just don't think about it too much. You can't. There's too many things wrong. There's too many, like, he brought up a bunch of stuff and I'm like, oh yeah.
I will
didn't
accept,
really think
I will
about
totally
that.
accept women loving this franchise if they stop bitching about old guys dating young broads. Totally fine then.
I don't have a problem with that.
Really? I guess you don't, but a lot of women do. No, you don't. And now that I think about it, I haven't ever heard you complain about that, but I have heard women complain about it. I have heard a lot of women complain about, like, that's just wrong. It's like, why? He's happy, she's happy.
Yeah, if you're happy and you're not hurting anyone, as if I care.
At the same time, like, people were having issues with older men looking at Megan Fox with, like, eyes, like feverishly. Like, Megan Fox is really, really young, or any young broad for that matter, like looking at a young broad and being like oogling over her.
You look at her in Transformers and what's his face?
I'm just saying.
He's basically crafted it in such a way that all you see are like boob and butt shots. It's like, what are you?
Right, but you cannot deny that there is this argument that is prolific about men's obsession with younger women, like Girls Gone Wild. barely 18. You don't know this conversation?
I know, yeah,
Yeah,
so?
that's a conversation that's out there where women take umbrage with the fact that older men are obsessed with barely legal 18 girls. This is way worse, and it's being celebrated. I understand that it's fiction, by the way. I'm not stupid. I get that it's fiction, but still, it's fucking weird. The baby imprinting, as soon as the baby imprinting thing happened, it's like, how did not everybody burn the book? How did not everybody watching the film just like get up and be like, you know, fuck this, and then leave?
Because it kind of makes sense in a way when you're reading it and you're watching it, you're like, I mean, I guess, because while she's a baby, Jacob's like, no, I will take care of her and make sure that she's safe and blah, blah, blah.
He's gonna Woody Allen this.
When she's legal.
He's gonna Woody Allen this girl.
Pretty much.
And look what happened with that. So many
Woody
people.
Allen got married to her.
Yeah, but a lot of people just was like, what?
Well, yeah, because she was his daughter, his adopted daughter.
How is this any different? How is this any different? He's gonna raise her so he can bed her.
No blood relation, though.
He's not related. Woody Allen is not related to that girl.
I know, he's not related to her either. That's why he can marry her. I think...
It's wrong. This is wrong.
Okay, it's a movie.
No, but I take umbrage with the hypocrisy. It's wrong. It's not gonna be that often you find a straight dude who's gonna be like, I like that was pretty good. It's gonna be mostly women who are into this stuff, and it's like, but the thing about it is that same woman is gonna have an issue with Woody Allen. So why not have an issue with Jacob? It's the same thing. All I'm saying,
You just made an argument for him, though, at the beginning of our discussion when you were like, it's totally fine because he's closer in age to the baby
What I'm saying is, I didn't say it's fine. I said it's in line with the book series. I said it's less weird than Edward, come on my face, and Bella.
Okay.
He basically looks like that. His face is so pale.
I know. Watching this back, I'm like, oh, the makeup they did on this was super weird, but okay. I mean, they're vampires, whatever. They sparkle in the sun. That was also something super fun. Like, these vampires sparkle in the sun. Now that's just part of new vampire lore. Like, as someone who really enjoyed vampire books and movies and stuff growing up, I'm like, that's not part of any lore that I've ever heard of. But okay, it's fun. Just make them sparkle.
If you ever meet a broad who's very obsessed with vampires, back away slowly. There's something wrong with her. Guaranteed. Every single time I meet a girl who's like super into vampires, and then I come out of that relationship or whatever it is, I realize that there's just a few screws loose every single time, without fail, every single time. And if you're someone who's into vampires and you don't think there's something wrong with you, sorry, you're that weird person.
I am that weird person. I think vampires are super cool. Did you not watch Blade?
That will be the one exception, because he's a badass. But other than that, it's like, it's usually silly.
Was it, and like Underworld? Is that the one with Kate Beckinsale? That's pretty fun.
It's okay.
Dracula?
I didn't see it, but Underworld was okay.
What We Do in the Shadows?
I didn't finish
Things
it.
We Do in the Shadows. I like that movie. I like vampire movies. I like vampire books. It's fun. It's silly. Whatever. Twilight didn't age well, but I enjoyed it in the beginning. And then by that time, I was like, well, I already started the franchise. I may as well carry on.
Because you got nothing better to do with your time. If that's your attitude, you just said don't have anything better to do with your time. Like you could be, trying to, help solve world hunger, but you're watching some bullshit. So anyway, you guys hopefully enjoyed some of that weirdness.